Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. We are just 9 days away until Tennessee kicks off fall camp. 40 days until Tennessee goes head-to-head with Syracuse inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the 2025 Chick-fil-A Kickoff Classic. It is year 5 of the Josh Heupel era, and I get it, man. It is a strange year for Tennessee, right? QB1 hits the portal after spring camp. Most of us, I think, expected to take another step in 2025, and I think we can still do that. Obviously, 2024 didn't end the way that we wanted, but here we sit heading into year 5. Man, you got to sit back and look at where we were before Josh Heupel and look at what he's done in just 4 seasons. You have to be pleased with what Coach Heupel and this coaching staff have done. Here's a quote from SEC Media Days that kind of sums up what Heupel has done. I love this quote. Let's take a listen.
You look over the last 3 years, 30 wins, the most wins in Tennessee in a stretch of a 3-year span in Tennessee football since the late 90s. You look at the college football playoff, New Year's 6 bowl wins. You look at what we've done in the NFL draft, the best stretch of NFL draft picks at Tennessee in over 2 decades. And while we've been able to have that success on the field, our players have done an unbelievable job inside of our community. Each year we've set a team GPA record in the history of Tennessee football. I'm extremely proud of what our staff and our players have done here in a short amount of time.
So you can look back at where we were. You can look at what Josh Heupel has done in 4 seasons at Tennessee, but we continue to move forward. We want to take that next step. We are close to being at that elite level. I get it, 10-2 college football playoff. That's great, but we want more. What are your expectations in 2025? Does Josh Heupel, does he get a free pass because QB1 hit the portal after the spring camp? Or do you believe in Joey Aguilar? Look, it should come as no surprise that ESPN dropped Tennessee from their preseason top 25. But I think Nico leaving, the disrespect, the doubt, I think that could bring this team together. We're going to look at the PFF rankings. We're also going to look at the ESPN FPI. We're going to take a look at why Tennessee has been dropped out of the preseason top 25. And we're going to talk about this football team for 2025. But before we do that, I need you guys to do me a favor. Just smash the thumbs up down there below the video. It's quick, free, easy. It helps the channel, and I would appreciate it. If it's your first time here on the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. We don't pretend to be that. What we are is exactly what you guys are. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe. Click the bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Got a fun one coming up Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. 4-star linebacker Braden Rouse, Tennessee commit, is going to be in the house. We're going to talk to him, have some fun with him, and then we're going to take a look at what's coming up in 2025. Also live every Sunday night, playing EA Sports College Football and talking all things Tennessee football. But let's get into it. Let's take a look at this article from VolQuest.com. Again, not behind the paywall, so we'll take a look at it here. Where Tennessee is ranked in the Pro Football Focus Power Rankings. This is written by Grant Ramey. Tennessee is the number 10 team in the college football entering the preseason according to the latest power rankings from Pro Football Focus. PFF projects the Vols to win 8 games with an 88% chance to make a bowl game and 26% chance to make the college football playoff. It's got Ohio State at number 1, Oregon, Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame also ahead of the Vols, number 6, Penn State, Alabama, Ole Miss, and number 9, Miami. Now, he mentioned some other teams here that are Tennessee opponents. So it's got Tennessee at 10, other opponents, Florida at 18, Oklahoma 31, Syracuse 35, Arkansas 42, Vanderbilt 63, Kentucky 65, Mississippi State 89, UAB 114, New Mexico State 128. So we see a theme here. There's only 2 teams in the Pro Football Focus Power Rankings and also on the ESPN FPI that are on Tennessee's schedule that are ranked ahead of them. Now, ESPN FPI also has Tennessee at number 10. They're closer to 9 wins for their prediction. They're at 8.7, a little higher on the college football playoff as well. They've got a 38.5% chance of Tennessee making that college football playoff. But again, you go back and you look at these numbers, you look at the rankings, you look at the data, and again, only 2 teams ranked ahead of Tennessee that are on their schedule, and that's Georgia and Alabama. Even though Florida comes in at number 18, I think most people are still looking at that game as a loss, right? Josh Heupel's not beaten Florida in the swamp. Josh Heupel's not gone to Alabama and won on the road. Josh Heupel's not beat Georgia in Neyland Stadium or on the road. So I think those are the 3 teams. And you can also go look at the lines, right? The betting odds. FanDuel has got a few lines out. Tennessee favored by 12.5 against Syracuse. But sticking with the theme here, 7.5 point underdog to Georgia at home. 11.5 underdog to Georgia or to Alabama on the road, and only a 3-point underdog to Florida in the Swamp. Do any of those numbers kind of surprise you there? 3-point underdog to Florida in the Swamp. That's an interesting one. But what do you guys think? So again, the big three, Georgia, Alabama, Florida. I think when you talk to most people, you look at expectations for 2025, that's where they start. They say, well, Josh Heupel's never done any of those three things, so I'm going 9-3. I could see we could slip up and go 8-4, or maybe get lucky and go 10-2 again and look at another shot at the college football playoff. But do you think Tennessee slips up and loses another one somewhere? Again, I play EA Sports College Football every Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We were doing that last night. I was playing Mississippi State on the road, and I kind of asked the chat. I said, are you guys worried about this game? A game that Tennessee should be favored in, a game that Tennessee should win, but it's on the road. And every year since being here, Josh Heupel has slipped up and lost a game on the road. Now, there was an overwhelming no there. The overall consensus kind of stuck with the big three, Georgia, Bama, Florida. Those are the games that everybody was worried about. What about you in the chat? What about you listening to this video now? Are you worried about Mississippi State on the road? What about the Kentucky game? Look, you got to go on the road to Tuscaloosa on October the 18th, and then the very next week you're back on the road against Kentucky. I think that's an interesting thing worth noting on the schedule. Now, again, we're Kentucky Zaddy. We sell a shirt that says we are at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. But look, that's on the road. What about at home? Any games you're worried about at home? Because for me, I am not worried about Josh Heupel in Neyland Stadium. I know some people are worried about Oklahoma. Some people are worried about Arkansas. Josh Heupel is 24-4 inside Neyland Stadium. And 3 of those 4 losses came in year one when we had, a walk-on playing linebacker, mass exodus of players. Year one for Josh Heupel, that's where 3 of those 4 losses came. So he is 19-1. 19-1 in Neyland Stadium in the last 3 years. The only loss we've had at home is to the Georgia Bulldogs. Can we fix that in 2025? Let's roll on down here and take a look. ESPN dropped Tennessee out of the preseason top 25. Says Tennessee is number 10 in the Power Index and is number 13 in ESPN SP Plus rankings. But the Vols dropped from the ESPN preseason top 25 after Nico Iamaleava transferred. Tennessee was 19 in ESPN's way too early top 25 back in January, leaving the rankings after losing its quarterback. Joey Aguilar, who had transferred from App State to UCLA, transferred to Tennessee after the Bruins added Iamaleava. Now, do you think that swap there, that trade there, Nico for Joey, do you think Tennessee deserves to drop out of the preseason top 25? Because the Vegas lines, the Vegas odds didn't really shift on where Tennessee is at. But do you guys believe in Joey Aguilar? Do you think he can come in and have success? We talked a lot about him since he committed to Tennessee, threw for over 3,000 yards in both years at App State, threw for almost 4,000 yards in 2023, 56 touchdowns in those 2 seasons. And I get it. Everybody's going to want to talk about the interceptions, 24 interceptions in those 2 seasons. Now, obviously, I watch a lot of App State football. This last year's team was not very good. Joey didn't have a whole lot of help around him. I think he's going to have some help around him at Tennessee. But can Josh Heupel improve the interceptions? Can Josh Heupel improve the mistakes? Josh Heupel has never had a quarterback at Tennessee throw for more than 5 interceptions. Nico threw 5. Joe Milton also threw 5. And in fact, I saw an article from A to Z Sports that said Vols quarterbacks have thrown the fewest interceptions in the country over the last 3 seasons. So can Josh Heupel be the QB whisperer and get Joey to kind of clean up some of those mistakes and continue to throw for 3,000, 4,000 yards and 56 touchdowns over the course of 2 seasons? I think Josh Heupel can work with that. I think Josh Heupel can do something with that. Look, Joey Aguilar is not afraid to make plays. He's not afraid to sling the rock around. You got a bunch of talented young wide receivers that are ready to go out and prove themselves and make plays for Joey Aguilar. He's athletic. He's a competitor. Plays physical. Do you believe in Joey Aguilar? You look at the rest of this football team for 2025. You got to look at the additions in the portal. I get it. A lot of people say Josh Heupel doesn't recruit at the high school level good enough. He doesn't get those big splash guys in the portal, but what I think he does very well is roster management. He knows what he has. He looks at this roster, and I think he's done a great job, right? I mean, you add Wendell Moy Jr., you add Sam Pendleton. We know going into portal season, we need help on the interior of the offensive line. You get 2 guys with a lot of experience that are pretty dang good, have a pretty good track record in pass protection. Don Bailey, we asked him when he was on the channel. If you missed that interview, go back, give it a watch. There's a playlist for all the player interviews. We asked him point blank, what do you think about this offensive line? And he said, I'm not worried about the offensive line. He said we go against them every single day in practice, and Coach G has made it a point that we push them as hard as possible so that iron sharpens iron. He said they really started clicking the more they played together throughout the course of the spring. And then you look on the defensive side of the ball, adding Colton Hood at corner. He's a little safety net until you get Jamad McCoy back. And not only that, I think Colton Hood is going to be a dude. I think he could be the type of player Jamad McCoy is. So we get Jamad McCoy healthy. Let's go roll. You look at the defense last year. A lot of people want to act like Tim Banks isn't any good, like this defense wasn't any good. 16.1 points per game, seventh best defense, seventh overall defense in the country. Man, we got Josh Heupel. We got a offensive-minded head coach, but it's the defense that's seventh in the country. That's a recipe for success, boys. You reload on that defensive line. Don Bailey, Josh Josephs, Tyree West, Caleb Herring, David Hobbs, Eason, Jackson Moy. The list goes on and on. We're loaded on that defensive line. What Coach Inge is doing with this linebacker room. Man, it is filled with dudes, and he's continuing to fill it with dudes. He's doing it in this class of 26. TJ White, Braden Rouse, both four-star linebackers ranked inside the top 100 overall. But for 25, T. Lander, Arian Carter, Edwin Spillman. You also got a room full of solid freshmen coming in from that class of 25. Maybe questions about the secondary? Not for me. If Jamad McCoy gets healthy, these corners are some of the best in the country. Ricky Gibson, Jamad McCoy, Colton Hood. Man, I think the secondary, Boo Carter, I get it. You can look at safety. Is Idris Farouk ready as a sophomore? Is he ready in the absence of Jacoby Thomas? Andre Turntine needs to take a step. He's a senior. It's go time. He needs to take a step. I get it. This football team has some question marks. The disrespect, the doubt. They're going to be dropped out of the top 25. They're going to be ranked low in all these media polls, all the talk. Doesn't matter. I think it's brought this team together. Miles Kitzelman has been a leader. Some of the things that he said at SEC Media Days excites me because he talks about being a voice and that this team lacked that last year. Maybe Miles Kitzelman is that this year. Do you believe in Joey? What are your expectations for 2025? Because I'm starting to buy into my own hype that this team can still take a step in 2025. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. You want to support the channel, you can pick up merchandise. Bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. You can join the channel. It's $1 a month. Hit the join button down below. Football season is here. We're going to be doing members-only streams, fan call-in streams where only the members of the channel have access to see the show. We're going to be doing those once a week, so make sure you get those members in. Hit that $1 join button down below. We would greatly appreciate it. All the links are in the description to do that as well. But this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.